Hi everyone, I'm Anita and welcome to my channel where we talk about everything in hypnosis. I'm a QHHT practitioner and I specialize in past life regression. Today I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk to you about fears and phobias and how hypnosis can help you to overcome these fears and phobias, as well as identify how they occurred and how you can really benefit from clearing them out of your life. The best way for me to do that is to just share three stories with clients that I've worked with in the past. And of course, their names will not be revealed or any details to secure their identity. So, the first client I'd like to talk to you about is Sarah. So, Sarah specifically came to me with past life regression because she was suffering from the fear of open spaces. So, she said she was a busy mom. She had two children, and she said she was having real difficulties with airports, shopping malls, having real problems on escalators, having panic attacks. She would also have problems, started escalating where she was having issues in grocery stores, not being able to finish her food shopping. And she said it was even affecting her on highways. So, any areas where there were big open spaces, she was really being affected. So, first thing I do as a practitioner is I look at somebody's life and we see if there was an event that perhaps could have been the trigger to this phobia or fear in the current lifetime. Well, we couldn't find anything with Sarah, and there was no event that she could recall that may have caused this. So we went into trance and prepared the questions. And what's so amazing is your subconscious always leads you to the place where you need to go. And it took her right back to the event where she had this fear coming from. So basically, what it was she was a very young child. She was 5 or 6 years old, and she was in the airport with her mother and her siblings. And basically, she had become lost. And this was an occurrence that was happening in her current life. This was her as a child in this lifetime. And basically, higher self showed her the event and what she had gone through and why it had caused the trauma. So I asked higher self, was this the trigger? It said yes. So we worked with higher self or subconsciousness to clear the incident from her subconscious today and to help her heal from it so that it would no longer affect her in her adult lifetime. And that was all cleared. So, what's fascinating is how the subconscious works to protect you. And so, it is so good that it can actually hide memories from you so that you don't relive them in your current or adult life. So, that was very interesting. But what was fascinating was that the hypnosis session helped us to pinpoint where the trauma was coming from and the event. So the next client I want to tell you about is Frederick. So Frederick had a real fear of flying, and it too was becoming an issue because he was doing more traveling for work. He was taking a lot of flights, and it was becoming problematic for him. So one thing Frederick explained to me was he had this great friend Bob, who they've been friends forever, and he said the only thing that would work and help him before he got on a flight was he had to call Bob. And he said, him and Bob would chit chat. And, 20, 30 minutes later, he'd be called to board the plane. And he said, he'd feel really relaxed and they'd had a good laugh and feel really grounded. But he couldn't get on those planes until he spoke with Bob. Very interesting piece of the puzzle. So we also, too, just like Sarah, we went through his current life and couldn't identify an event that could lead to his fear of flying. So we went into trance, and his subconscious brought him to an experience that he had had in a past life. So in this past life, he was flying, he was very excited, he was on a plane. It was somewhere between 1950 and 1960, and he was with his best friend, Bob, who was also his best friend in his past life and in this experience. And him and Bob were having a great time on this plane. They were excited for the trip they were going on. And this plane crashed. There was 250 people on this flight, and everybody perished in this plane accident. So basically, his subconscious was holding on to the pain of this experience and this crash. And basically, we asked higher self, is this is what is causing Bob's pain in this current life? Subconscious revealed that yes, it was. We asked subconscious to let it go, heal from it, and no longer let it affect Frederick in this lifetime. So we did that. And when Frederick woke up, he explained to me that he had felt a great lifting had been removed from his shoulders, and that he felt lighter and freer and had completely understood the incident and was free from this tragic incident that he experienced, and now understood his relationship with Bob in a very different way. The next client I want to tell you about is Manuel. And Manuel, as well, came to me because he had real fear and anxiety around getting sick and just light things, having colds, getting sore throats, headaches. And what he explained to me was that every time he got a sore throat or, had a sniffle or got a headache, he would go into these spirals of events where he would think about he'd had a terminal disease, and he would go onto the internet and he would start looking up WebMD, and he would start looking for things that were associated and thinking that he had throat cancer or lung cancer, or he had a rare terminal illness. And he said he would really spiral every time the moment he didn't feel well. He also explained to me that he had two children, and when they would get sick along with his wife, he would sort of feel that same type of anxiety, but nowhere near as strong as what he was feeling personally with himself. So once again, we dove into his current life, and we could not find an event or any type of experience that would lead to this type of trauma. We went into trance, and of course, higher self went directly to what Manuel needed to hear, and that was a past life experience. So in that past life, he was a very young boy. He was 7 or 8 years old. He lived with his mother and father, and that mother and father were the same mother and father that he had today in his current life, and they were very impoverished. They didn't have much. They lived in some sort of tent type apparatus that had a dirt floor, and they really struggled for food, and medicine or any type of healthcare was not even an option. So basically, he had explained that he had a very high fever, and there was not much that they could do when eventually someone in the community had dropped by to visit and was able to take him to the hospital. So to the hospital, young Frederick went along with his father. So he explained in his experience that basically he saw himself lying on a bed in the hospital with his father holding his hands. And basically, he had this super high fever that was diagnosed as TB or tuberculosis. And he watched his soul pass and die with his father holding his hand. I asked higher self, was this the incident that was affecting Manuel in his current lifetime? And was this the fear and phobia that he was experiencing from this past life? And his higher self confirmed that yes, it was. We asked to clear this event from his current lifetime and basically allow him to live a very happy life where he didn't have to worry about, getting cold or coughs or any types of things, so that he would be relieved and understand that he would not suffer from tuberculosis or TB again. Frederick, too, woke up feeling very relieved, and all of a sudden telling me that so many pieces of his life had come together through that experience, and that he felt great weight lifted off his shoulders. So these are the types of ways that you can work with fears and phobias and hypnosis. You can see how strong the subconscious is and how well it does at protecting you. And these can be very difficult in working with talk therapy in order to discover and establish. So when you go into that theta state, it is a healing state, and your subconscious works at its best to assist you with the information that you need today. So if you're ready to address any of your fears or phobias, you can just book a session down in the link below. And basically, I would be really happy to help you discover where your fear or phobia stemmed from and help you overcome it. Thanks for listening to my channel. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments box, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video.